In this tutorial, I'd like to talk about applying basic key effects in Adobe Premiere. And this would be like if you want to drop out the background of like a green screen or a blue screen, or really any color background that you have. Now what I have is a new project set up. I just called it Key Effects. And let me right click down here in my project and import. And my setup here is I've got a folder. I've got my Adobe or my IMD 250 Premiere folder, and then I've got a folder in that called Key, and then I have two MOV files to practice on, and I put links in the tutorial movies this week that can give you some sample files to download that should work for practicing. You know, they're not something you'd use for a project or anything professional. It's just practice files. So I'll go ahead and select both of those and click import, and that'll import those files. And what I have here is a background, and okay, just a very short clip here just so you can practice with it. It's an advertisement for a company that does some of this green screen effects, so you may get some unwanted ads on there, but it doesn't matter for practicing. And then the second one here is just a woman talking on the phone in front of a green screen, and you can see that with the green screen, probably the most important thing is that it's evenly lit so that you don't get a shadow behind, because that makes it really hard for you to cut out your subject or drop out the background. So I did also post some other links to tutorials that might help you if you're going to shoot anything on a green screen. Now everything I'm talking about here, you know, it does get a little more advanced as far as the production of it, you know, filming it, making it work. The actual editing is easy. There's not a whole lot to it. So what I'll do here is drag and drop both of these on here. Let me drop that on first, and I'll go ahead and drop the background behind it. So I'll put that on another track. All right, so let me do that one more time. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. I dragged and dropped that to the audio by mistake, so drag that right there. And you can see that if I want to turn that on and off, you can see I've got the background behind, and then I've got the subject in front. So now let's go to the effects panel right here, and let's go to video effects. I'll expand that, and let's go to keying underneath image control. And if you scroll way down here, you're going to see what's called the ultra key. Now there's a whole lot in here. Again, there's too many things for me to do tutorials on everything, so that's why I wanted to give you just the basics of how you drop out a color. Now you can use a lot of these different effects to get rid of areas of your screen. So for example, if you use a garbage matte, what that does is that allows you to focus on a point on the screen and then begin taking away from that point. And by taking away, I mean actually deleting part of that video, so it just reveals a certain part. Now, cutting out a subject is difficult if you have not shot that subject on a solid color background. By that, you know, like compare that to a photo that you take with your digital camera. You open it up in Photoshop. You know, you probably know how to cut out a subject using Photoshop, you know, using your pen tool or something else to make a selection. It doesn't work that way in video. It's a little more difficult, and that's why they have key effects. So you shoot in front of a green screen, you drop out that entire color. So what I'll do here is go down to the last one, which is the one that, you know, most everyone uses for just a quick dropping out of color. Ultra key. So select ultra key, drag and drop that. I'll put that on green screen right there, and that's the top one. Okay, double click again on that effect right there, and then I'll go into the effect controls, and there's ultra key. Okay, and the first thing I need to do is select the color. So you can either select a green here, or you can use the eyedropper. So I'll grab the eyedropper right here, and I'll select that green. And then what that's going to do is it's going to just remove that color. Now, if you try this on your own at home or something, you can shoot yourself in front of a solid color wall, you know, any color. But the reason that that green and blue are used is because you typically don't see that bright color, that bright green or bright blue, on a body or on clothes. That's why, because you just don't see that color. It's just too bright. That's why everybody uses that. So you can see that it really drops out pretty well. Now a couple other things that you can do to clean this up here. You can change to aggressive from default, and that will actually, you can see that reduced it just a little bit more. If I undo that, you can see that it actually still picks up some shades of green here, but if I go with aggressive, it takes even more of them out. And then also if I go down here and check out some of these, well, let's see, actually I think matte cleanup. So matte cleanup, you can try some of these. You could try to increase the choke. And if I take this choke slider and I go up and down, you can actually see her changing the outline around her hair. So that drops that out a little bit more, even if you end up picking up some of that green behind there. So you could try the choke, you can try the soften. But point is that this is going to be your best bet for basic green screen effects. And again, I just say green, but it's any color. You can see that it's a key color. Most people just call it green screen, but it's or they might call it chroma key or color key. You might have heard of those terms also, but you can select any color and drop that out. So that's the basics. And now if I watch this video here, you can see that the person is on front of that background video, and there are actually people walking there behind her, so it's 2 videos, and it gives you that effect. So that's just a very simple demonstration for you, taking 2 clips from just free practice websites, and then applying the Ultra key. Now again, plenty of other keys for you to check out. You want to check out the garbage matte, that would be another one that you could do. I don't know if I'll do a tutorial on that or not, but these all do similar things. The whole point of this bin that you see right here, this effects bin called keying, is that it's going to allow you to target areas of your screen and get rid of it, or areas of your video and get rid of that area. And this being the simplest example is that you have a solid color background. I target that background with the Ultra key, and then that gets rid of the entire background behind my subject. And then all these other filters do similar tasks. They just allow you to control it a little bit more if your background is not a solid color. And again, remember, the most important thing with green screen effects is even lighting. Because if you have shadows behind your subject, it gets very difficult to remove your subject without that shadow getting in the way. So that's it for this tutorial on removing the green screen with Ultra key.